What do executive functions have to do with study skills? I get this question all the time. At these days, executive functions are kind of the latest buzzword in education. And so everyone wants executive function trainings, but they often think of executive function as only in the realm of like time management and organization. And they don't really think about the ways that executive functions and study skills are connected. So today we are going to talk about that in this video. If executive functions are, after all, any skill that we need to reach a goal, it's pretty obvious what this has to do with study skills, right? Because studying and learning information is a goal. So today we're going to talk about 8 common executive functions, what they have to do with studying, and how we can teach study skills in more EF aware ways. Let's get into it. All right, let's take a look at this flower. I am working with my colleague, Krista Hopp, to create a really easy to understand model for executive function for teachers. And so you're gonna see me exploring this model more and more, and eventually you're going to see some pretty cool trainings coming out for schools and for educators about, executive functions. But for now, let me show this to you. There are 4 common executive functions that come up the most in research. And so Krista and I have decided that those are some executive functions to focus on when we're talking to educators: emotional regulation, working memory, metacognition, and flexibility. However, there's another 4 common executive functions that really pertain to students, and teachers see lots of deficits in this regard. So we're also going to be focusing on time management, planning, organization, right, and attention. So what do each of these have to do with studying? Well, let's think about it. The working memory is everything that you have to hold in your mind in order to solve a problem, analyze a situation. It's actually where, when a student is taking a test, they have to pull information from in order to work with it on the test. So I think it's pretty clear the better job you do studying and getting information fluent in your brain, the easier job you have pulling it into your working memory to work with it. So I think that's pretty clear. Sustaining attention. Well, yeah, when you are studying at home alone, you have to really figure out ways to sustain your attention on the task at hand until you've done a good job studying. Metacognition is thinking about your own thinking, learning from your mistakes. What is studying, if not making mistakes and learning from them, like actively looking for your mistakes and learning from them? Clearly, we have to organize all of our resources that our teachers have given us to help us to study. We have to have flexible thinking, both in our, as we notice what mistakes we've made and how to improve them. We have to constantly be updating our approach to our learning and our study plan. Also, we have to study over long periods of time. And so we have to be able to shift and with new content that we learn, but also we have to shift when our schedule shifts and that time that we thought we might be able to study, we can't study. We have to plan ahead. Backwards planning is a skill that I teach in the anti-boring approach to powerful studying. And then we have to emotionally regulate when we get frustrated that we're not understanding something, or when we get overwhelmed by how much there is to learn, we have to regulate ourselves. And then time management. When we make plans, we have to make plans in accordance with the time that's allotted to us. We have to be aware of how much time it takes to actually sit down and study. So do you see how executive functions are intimately connected to the task of studying? So what do we do about this? How do we teach students study skills, number 1, and number 2, in ways that are executive function friendly or executive function aware? This is where my study cycle comes in. I have consolidated all the pertinent brain science about learning into a 3-step model that I teach students, and that I teach teachers to teach students, and I teach teachers how to structure their entire curriculum and the flow of their class using study cycle based language so that it's present at every level of education from the way the school is organized to the way classrooms are organized, and then to the way the student organizes their own learning. The study cycle takes all these executive functions, can I hold them both up, into account, and is a system to help you time manage, to plan, to actually a system for metacognition, for actually analyzing what you're learning, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe that learning the study cycle is one of the single most important things that any teacher and any student can do. And the good news is I have a new training all about the study cycle coming up at the end of September 2022. Click the links below to get more information about that. It's a low-cost training, $36. You can't beat that. There is a way for principals and school administrators to pay for their entire faculty to take this training at a discount. So check out all that information below. And if you also or just want to look at something now and better understand the study cycle now, go to gretchenwegner.com/study, and there is a downloadable that you can ask to be emailed to you that really outlines what these 3 steps to the study cycle are and what the specific actions are that students can do and that teachers can teach students to do to study effectively. So go catch that there. As always, if this is important content to you and you want to see these videos coming, I have a favor to ask. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bells, maybe even comment below and tell me one struggle that you have related to studying an executive function, or ask me some questions. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Take care, y'all.